Am I the asshole for ending a decade-long friendship after my bestie announced her 5th pregnancy? My 44F friend, 30F, and I haven't spoken since New Year's of this year. It's currently June as of this writing. I'm hoping to keep the backstory short, but a lot of it is relevant. We met in 2016 when I was going through a brutally emotionally abusive breakup. Her then husband was the son of my ex's best friend. She was there when the Chernobyl-level fallout happened and we quickly bonded despite our age gap. She was sweet and thoughtful, always calling to check in on me. I fell into a very deep depression after this breakup, coming by with food and a listening ear. At the time, her daughter was 3 and she was pregnant with her 2nd child from her marriage. I was there for the birth of their son. Life continued on, saw each other almost every single day in some capacity. Her and her family, husband and both kids, would come by for hours to just chill and watch movies, hang out, eat. My depression still gripped me here and there, and she stepped up in emotionally mature ways that I didn't expect from someone her age. A couple years later, her and her husband split up. It was for the best, but neither of them handled it well. He was controlling and possessive, verbally abusive, and gaslit the crap out of her, though now I realize she certainly wasn't faultless. Thus began the never-ending revolving door of unhealthy, equally abusive pseudo-relationships where she searched for validation she'd never find in all her poor choices. I stepped up. I became the second set of hands she needed in helping with the kids, the house, even the finances. We leaned on each other. We even got a job at the same place so we could spend even more time together. She met someone there, fell in love fast and hard, got pregnant early, and he bounced. COVID happened, and our jobs disappeared. The company we were at went under shortly after. I stepped up my bestie game. Appointments, diapers, groceries, bills, birthday parties, gifts, prescriptions. Anything she needed. She even got me flowers and a card on Father's Day as a way to acknowledge my help with this 3rd pregnancy. She had a healthy and happy baby boy. Life continued on. Life continued on. I met my, now, husband. She continued to date erratically. She asked if my new BF had any single friends we could introduce her to. Big mistake. 2 months in. And she's pregnant with baby number 4. And my husband no longer speaks to his childhood friend. This entire time, she's relying on me more and more. Appointments, gas money, food, cash loans. Birthday parties, gifts, Christmas, money for the kids' medicine, you get the picture. I was loaning her money about 4 times a month. Anywhere from $50 to $300 at a time. She always paid me back. But she always needed more just a week later. We both borrowed. I also borrowed from the bestie bank when I needed a few bucks to cover a bill till the next payday. Though I never borrowed quite as frequently as she did. Now at this point things were more stable in my life. Emotionally and financially, my boyfriend and I were comfortable. So I always justified these loans and all the help I provided because I couldn't possibly understand how stressful it would be to be a single mom to 3 kids with 1 on the way. I know I skipped a lot of stuff, but at this point, we're 6 years into the friendship. At this point, she brings up the idea of having her tubes tied after baby number 4 shows up, and I told her I thought that was a fantastic idea. She told me all about doctor's appointments and how they went. What the doctor said. After a while, baby number 4 had arrived and she was completely spread thin. 4 kids total. 2 kids in the last 2 years in a messy custody battle with her ex-husband for her older 2 children. She still wasn't working. Naturally, she couldn't afford the childcare it would take to get a job. Plain and simple, she couldn't afford life anymore. She wasn't receiving child support from any of the 3 fathers. Her pride stopped her from going after them for any help. Instead, she had me. At this point, I had yet to experience a time in my friendship with her where she wasn't pregnant or breastfeeding. We've never hung out without kids around. Never a dinner out. No girls' nights. So many kids. The last 2 years have been exhausting. And loud. I pulled back. I stopped answering her constant phone calls. I replied to her texts once a day or every other day. I started voicing to her how one-sided this friendship felt. How I really needed some grown-up only visits with her to kind of resuscitate our friendship. She would come by with the kids and fall asleep immediately on my couch, leaving me to mind the kids. She had done this a lot over the years, but 1 or 2 kids, I can handle. Not 2 babies and 2 older kids constantly fighting. She was never happy. Every call or text conversation was some kind of drama. The current guy she's been seeing has cheated on her repeatedly. He's lied to her, manipulated her, gaslit her, abandoned her for weeks at a time. Every single call was drama. And she's had 4, 5, maybe even 6 pregnancy scares with this man in the last year. Clearly she wasn't being safe. She claimed to the high heavens that she was, but I knew she was lying. And it infuriated me. I am also 100% positive that 2 of those pregnancy scares were a lie. A lie she made up facilitate a miscarriage to guilt him into staying with her and to keep me on the hook. My anxiety and blood pressure were through the roof. She still hadn't gotten the procedure to prevent more pregnancies, and I started to notice the inconsistencies in a lot of her stories about doctor's appointments and whatnot. She was always lying to me. I'd call her out on it, and she'd gaslight me, saying I must have misunderstood. I was definitely absent. Our friendship had devolved to sending memes, reacting to them without replies, and maybe a quick phone conversation once a week. I finally decided that I just had nothing left to give. I was discussing with my husband how I would even go about breaking things off without feeling like I'm abandoning her when just around New Year's, I get a call. She says she's pregnant, again. And I just let her have it. I fumed until I was crying. I could not do it anymore. 5 kids? By 4 different fathers? You can't even afford the ones you have now. I finally unleashed all of the frustration, all at once, that I'd been simply addressing in small doses for the last few years. I said I was done. For good and for real this time, I was done. We haven't spoken in 6 months. She still owes me close to $400 that I'll never see again. Sometimes I think I miss her. I know I definitely miss her kids. But I do not miss, even a little bit, of the constant drama and anxiety I felt every single day. Was it right to finally walk away? I'm only questioning my actions now because I have so much guilt for leaving her to fend for herself. I mean, clearly she's fine, she's alive. But taking care of herself is not something I've ever seen her do. I filled out all her applications for stuff. I wrote resignation emails for her. I wrote resumes and cover letters for her. I applied to jobs for her. I made phone calls for her. I wrote breakup texts and entire conversations with other men for her. So am I the asshole?